And welcome back to the second part of the student's record data entry form. Okay, now what I want to do is to take care of the print. I'll be printing all the data that are entered on the workbook itself. So I'm going to come in here, double click on that, and I'm going to start by saying this workbook dot sheets there, and the sheet that I'm referring to is going to be my sheet number 1. Sheet number 1, close that dot. That's going to be print out. I'm just going to ask it to print out 1 copy equals 1. Now, just this alone, this single line alone, we actually print something out, but I would like it to display a dialog. So let's say application dot dialog, so that we know where our printing server is. Okay, that will be x1 dialog print setup. X1 dialog print setup. Where is it? Should be here somewhere. Okay, let's just keep typing. Dialog print setup. Print setup. Now in this case it's going to be print setup dot show. There we go. So we can try that out, but there's nothing on my workbook right now. If I show it to you guys, there's nothing on it, so I won't be printing. There we go. Oh, there's an error, so let's correct that first. Okay, I think the error is that was supposed to be printer, so instead of print I should be printer. So let's run it again and see. There we go. You see the dialog, so I can always select any of these. I can even select a PDF. That is my printer, but unfortunately it's not working. Or I can select send to OneNote, but there's nothing to print right now, so exit. Now that all of this works, now I need to come into show records, double click on that. Okay, for the show record, I'm going to start by declaring the following variables. So I'm going to call that worksheets as WKS as work. That'll be worksheet. Right. Now the next thing I'm going to declare would be, let's say add, let me use uppercase, add new. Try that again. Add new as range. That will be for the range of my worksheet. Now let's set work WKS equals worksheet number 1. Now as for worksheet number 1, we want it to the following to be added. Add equals worksheet dot range, and the range in this case I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to go for about, let it start from A to 65,000 plus 65,356. That's I assume to be the size of the workbook itself. And let's say end x1 u up, x1 up. There we go, up there. That's it right there. And just close that and say dot offset. That means it should go to the next line, and that's going to be 1, 0. There. Now say add new dot offset, and that will be 0,0. That's for the first column. Dot value, whatever value we have, add it right into that column. And this very first one is txt student id dot text. That's my very first one. The second one is surname, no, first name. First name, surname. That will be first name and followed by surname. Then the value of this is going to be 1, and this one is 2. I think the next one is address, so this will be 3, and let's change this to address. Now let's see what else do I have there. Scroll right up. I have address, postcode. Let's go for postcode and student loan. Here I have that will be 4 and 5 here. Postcode and student loan. That text. Now what do I have here? Oh, no name. Okay, we're gonna change that or else there will be an error. Let's copy that name and paste it there for it. There, that has a name now. Accommodation, no name as well. And this will become txt accommodation. Okay, what about this one here? Let's give that a name as well. TXT International Student. Right. I think all the others do have name. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, but I'm not going to be able to enter, or I won't be entering all of this information on this my list box. So I'm just going to select a copy that will be there. So all of these are there. And now let's select some more. We have 6 here in total. Okay, the other data which select is, since I have 6 here, let's select the degree. Copy that. And I'm also going to select, if I have a degree, yeah, I want one more. Maybe telephone number and degree. Alright, this is txt telephone number, so let's come right there. So that will be for the degree. Paste that in there. Dot text. Let's make this 7, because the next one is going to be telephone number. Student telephone number. Telephone. Right. 6. Okay, let me grab another 2 here. So let's see, I think the next of kin, yeah, and mobile number. Next of kin and the mobile number. Let's come back in here, double click on that. Dot text. Copy all of this and paste it there. 8. Then finally number 9. So in total that's 10. Okay, this is 9, and this is going to be mobile. Yeah. Okay, one more thing. Now that I have all of this information now, when I click on show record, all of this information are added straight onto my workbook. But I also want those information to be displayed on my list box here. So to achieve that, let's double click there and go back in here. So for the list box, LBL, no, not LBL, LST display. Yeah. Dot column count, and that is going to be equals 10. LST display dot row sorts equals, because it's going to start from B1 all the way to, let's say, about J63, 65,356. Yeah, there. Right. But one thing first, you see this list box? Let's scroll right down. There's a property here. You see this very property? I'm going to make that select extended, and my column count here, I'm going to make that 10. Yeah, which I've already specified here anyway. Column count is 10. Okay, let me run it and see how it's going to look like for now. Enter the following in there, and the name, let's assume the name is Paul Lumen, and in here let's see the address, number 1, Godson, close. Student loan. Okay, I need to do something about that. When I check that, I want some money to be displayed. And cash accommodation. Yeah, we could just say yes or no in there, and here is going to be PhD. Let's say pilot license, telephone number, dates, today's date. Okay. Next of kin, Peter. Address right there. Number 3, Harvard. Mobile number of Peter. There. International. We just say no. Okay. So if I click on that, yes, that is fine. Okay. So that means that's working. So if I check out my workbook, let's see my workbook now. It's meant to display all of this information. Yes, it's displayed there. Let's close that and open up the workbook here. Look at it. It's all displayed. But here, that's meant to be the title. Okay. So that title will be student ID. We have first name here. I think this is maybe mobile number. Here. Now this. Okay, this is telephone. Right. Now I have my title in place. So let's come in there and just make that bold. Right. Okay, this is the postcode. Yeah, right. That is it now. Okay, there's one thing left, and that's the most important. We need to save this. I don't want to lose anything that I've done so far. Alright, I'm going to save it in here. We just call it student records, no space. Right, but most importantly, we have to save it as Excel macro enable. There we go. Right, that is saved. So let's go to our Visual Basic interface. There we go. But there's one more thing left. When I click on this, I want you to display something for me, and this too, and this very one. I want a default. Okay, let's go back in here. Double click on the form. Inside the form, I'm going to copy this and just make that my default one. Right, so this will be empty. That's the default. The same thing applies to these other two. Default is empty, and default here will be empty as well. Right, now for these other ones, when I click on this, I want something displayed in here. So let's double click on that. The default will be no. So default is student loan. No, there's nothing. Okay, now double click on that. Alright, so let's start by saying if the checkbox dot value, if it equals true, then I want txt. Let's change this to txt student loan dot text equals, let's say the student loan is about 9,000 plus. There we go. Say else if the value is false. If the value is false, I'm going to copy this and paste it there. If it's false, then I want this. I want this very one to be nothing. Paste that in there and then say and right. Or we can even say if dot value equals VB no string. Right, so now let's check this out. Else if, now there should be a space here. Right, okay, I'm going to try that out and see how it works. So let's run it. There we have a value. No. Yes. Okay, let's take care of accommodation. Accommodation is going to require some money as well. So for the accommodation, that will be about 6,000 plus. So let's come in here, paste that in there, and this will become accommodation. Let's copy all of this and change this around, and that will be, let's say 6. Yeah, that's for accommodation. Change this to accommodation as well, and this one to accommodation. So that's it taken care of. Right, let's run it again and see how that's gonna look like. Okay, let's come in here. There's an error. Double click. Yeah, this student loan is still accommodation. It meant to be accommodation. Right, let's try it again. Yeah, undo and undo. So international student, let's come in there and check out the name for the international student. Yeah, and this one is almost the same. Yeah, it's the same. So now double click on the international. I'm going to paste that in there, and in this case it's going to be international student fees there. Let's make that about maybe 21. Yeah, and if, let's use an if statement, copy all of this, paste, change the name around, and if, and let's change the name of that to students, to international student. Right. Else if, copy all of this, else if this is false, then this will be nothing. Right, that is it, all done. So I'm now going to now try out my program and let's see how it's going to look like. Alright, so let's run and see. Yeah, and degree, method of payments, let's say it's going for doctor, that's for masters, driving license, telephone number, and today's dates. As you can see, the today's dates automatically appears. Let me show you what I did there. Double click on the form right here. This is the line of code for the date. Okay, so I'm going to run that again now that you guys have seen that the day is back there. Yeah, okay, student ID, name of student, let's say Tony, and Tony is going to be Tony Montana. Address of Montana is Hallway. Yeah, telephone number, proof of ID, he happens to be a pilot, degree is studying for, he's going for his first degree, and payment is paying cash. Mailing number, next of kin is, let's say it's Paul Montana. Address is going to be number 4 Hallway. Mobile number there, and that's all there is to it. So all we just need to do now is add to the system, and that's it. You can see Tony Montana's details there. Okay, right, and we can also reset. Click on reset, or we should even be able to, maybe we should add a delete button. So okay, I'm going to add a delete button, so let's exit out and come right down here. Let's maybe here, move this, let's copy this. Now change that to CMD delete, and change the text content on the caption to delete. Right, now double click on that and just enter delete. Right, that is the line of code for delete. So let's run it and see how that's going to work. Let's assume I'm displaying all of those information and I'll click on that. Yeah, that's it, gone. That's gone. Let's click on this as well. That is fine. So we can now directly delete. So let's make the interface looks a bit more presentable. Okay, it looks a bit much better, so let's try it out again and we'll see how that looks like. So run the probe. There we go, student details, and the name, let's say the name is Ola and the other name is Jones, and next of kin is Wale Jones, an address of the Jones family, that's number 4 really, number 4 Thomas Lane. The mobile number of Wally Jones, international student, confirmed. Yeah, so we can always add his details there. Look at Wally Jones details, and we can just add as much as we can, and we can even print this out if we want. Click on print. There we go. I don't have a printer, so I'm going to ask it to print on my PDF. Click on OK. There. And right there is now asking me to save it somewhere, so I'm just going to give that number 1 and save it right there on my desktop. Save. Okay, one other thing, I'm going to exit so that we see if all of this information has been saved on my workbook. Instead of exiting, just click this. There we go. Look at my workbook. We have all the information of Wally Jones, Tony Montana, Paul Oman on my workbook. Okay guys, so with that, I'm going to call it the end of this very advanced and beautiful Excel data entering system tutorial. And if you guys want the code, you can always send me an email, and that is just for those who are members of the channel. If you're a member of the channel, yes, I will be very happy to send you these codes. So with that guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. You all have a nice day now. Bye for now.